Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to night 2 of my prep work for Super Bowl 54. Before I get started, I want to mention that news has broken that Eli Manning has announced his retirement. Well, or will announce his retirement, I should say, on Friday. And I just want to say that congratulations to him on a great career. It was not always a pleasure to watch, but it was he did great for the situation he was in New York, winning 2 Super Bowls, especially against New England. So I wish him luck in his retirement, and I personally believe he will be a Hall of Famer. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about tonight. I am here to talk to you about Super Bowl 54, the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. We go back to their previous historical meetings. Their first meeting ever happened on Monday night, December 6th, 1971, 9 p.m. Eastern Start Time, from Monday Night Football from Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California. Let's take a look at the scoring. In the first quarter, Bruce Gossett kicked an 18-yard field goal to give the 49ers a 3-0 lead. Then in the second quarter, Jan Stenerud kicked a 15-yard field goal, and the game was tied at 3. Otis Taylor then caught a 46-yard pass from Len Dawson. Jan Stenerud hit the extra point, and the Chiefs led 10-3. Jan Stenerud hit a 54-yard field goal to extend the Chiefs' lead to 13-3. Ted Kwolek then caught a 35-yard pass from John Brody. Bruce Gossett hit the extra point to cut the Chiefs' lead to 13-10. Then Jan Stenerud hit a 12-yard field goal to give the Kansas City Chiefs a 16-10 halftime lead. In the third quarter, Otis Taylor ran the ball in from 25 yards out. Jan Stenerud added the extra point, and the Chiefs led 23-10 after 3. In the fourth quarter, Vic Washington caught a 3-yard pass from let me rephrase that. He ran the ball in from 3 yards out. Bruce Gossett hit the extra point and cut the Chiefs' lead to 23-17. Then Jan Stenerud hit an 8-yard field goal. Remember, the goal posts back then were at the front of the end zone. So an 8-yard field goal would now be an 18-yard field goal, and it would be one of the shortest ones you could kick. But an 8-yard field goal to give the Chiefs a 26-17 lead. The quarterback matchup in this game featured Hall of Famer Len Dawson for the Kansas City Chiefs against John Brody of the San Francisco 49ers. The weather at kickoff was 53 degrees with a relative humidity of 87% and wind gusts up to 16 miles per hour. Your leaders. Passing leader, Len Dawson of the Chiefs, 16 of 28, 263 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 1 time for a loss of 8 yards. All this information, by the way, comes to us from ProFootballReference.com. Rusher for the game was the Kansas City Chiefs' Ed Podolak, 17 carries, 75 yards. And the leading receiver was the Kansas City Chiefs' Otis Taylor, 5 receptions, 81 yards, and a touchdown. He also added the one rush for a score. So the Chiefs now lead the all-time series 1-0. And highlights to this game, 38-second highlight to this game, can be found in the NFL Games Library. If you know where to look for that, good. If not, also on the 1971 Kansas City Chiefs yearbook is where highlights to this game can be found. I also, in my Google search, found a New York Times excerpt from the game, and it had a typo. It was Chiefs triumph over 49ers 26-41. Actually, it's 26-17. But basically, it talks about Otis Taylor. Oh, let me read it. This is from the AP, San Francisco, dated December 6th, 1971. Otis Taylor scored 2 touchdowns on 2 spectacular plays, and Jan Stenerud kicked 4 field goals tonight as the Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers 26-17 in a battle for first-place teams. Going in the game, the Chiefs were 7-3-2, and the 49ers were 7-4. Taylor pulled in a 46-yard touchdown pass from Len Dawson in the second quarter as the Chiefs took the lead for the first time 10-3 and opened the second half scoring by going 25 yards on a touchdown on an end-around play. Dawson passed for 263 yards, including 198 in the first half, as he outperformed the 49ers' John Brody and engineered the nationally televised victory that knocked San Francisco out of its Western Division lead in the National Conference. The Chiefs moved 1 half game ahead of the Oakland Raiders for the Western Division of the American Conference, taking sole possession of the lead for the first time this season. They play the Raiders next Sunday in Kansas City. Now back then, there's more. Hold on. San Francisco fell a half game behind Los Angeles in the National Conference West by losing for the 3rd time in the last 4 games. Stenerud's field goals included one from 54 yards, the second longest of his career, in the second quarter when the Chiefs scored 16 points. The soccer-style kicker from Norway also kicked field goals of 15 and 11 yards in that quarter, and his 8-yard boot in the final period accounted for the final 3 points of the game. Brody threw a 35-yard touchdown pass to Ted Kwalik in the second quarter after Frank Nunley recovered a Kansas City fumble at the Chiefs' 44-yard line. Vic Washington of the 49ers opened the fourth quarter with a 3-yard touchdown run that brought San Francisco within 6 points, 23-17. Okay, now back then, the NFL didn't have a scheduling format, so who knows when an NFC and an AFC team would play again. It happened to be week 3 of the 1975 season on Sunday, October 5th, 1975, at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The 49ers now coached by Dick Nolan and the Chiefs coached by Paul Wiggin. Sorry, in the 71 game, Nolan was coaching the 49ers and Hank Stram was coaching the Chiefs. It was a 2 p.m. kickoff, 2 p.m. Eastern, so about 3 p.m. Kansas City time. Jan Stenerud in the scoring. In the second quarter, Jan Stenerud hit a 19-yard field goal to give the Chiefs a 3-0 lead. Then Tom Mitchell caught a 24-yard pass from Norm Snead. Now, you might recognize that name if you follow Sack to the Future, as Norm Snead has been on both the Eagles and the 49ers, the Eagles and Redskins, and is traditionally known as one of the quarterback for some of the worst teams in National Football League history. But anyway, here he throws a 24-yard pass to Tom Mitchell. Steve Mickemeyer hits the extra point, and the 49ers lead 7-3. Then Steve Mickemeyer hits a 19-yard field goal to give the 49ers a 10-3 lead at the half. In the third quarter, Steve Mickemeyer hits a 29-yard field goal to give the 49ers a 13-3 lead. Then in the fourth quarter, Larry Schreiber runs the ball in from 5 yards out. Steve Mickemeyer hits the extra point, and the 49ers go on to win 20-3. Both teams entered the game at 0-2. The Chiefs fall to a winless 0-3, while the 49ers get off the schneid with their first victory of the season. The game was played outdoors at Arrowhead Stadium. The temperature at kickoff was 59 degrees with a relative humidity at 58% and a wind at 13 miles per hour. Your leaders. Your leading passer for the game was Len Dawson of the Chiefs. 17 of 27, 184 yards, 1 interception, but he was sacked 6 times for a loss of 61 yards. Your leading rusher on the day was the 49ers' Delvin Williams, 15 carries, 66 yards with a long of 18, and your leading receiver on the day was Kansas City's Ed Podolak with 6 receptions of 65 yards and a long of 21. The series is now tied at 1 apiece, and that actually ends the 70s. They will not face again until the 1980s. So that's the prep work for tonight. Taking a look at tomorrow action, if I can get my spreadsheet to load. We're going to look at Super Bowl 16, the 49ers' first Super Bowl, and the 1982 matchup between the Chiefs and 49ers. So they don't play again after 75 for 7 whole years. Again, the NFL didn't have a scheduling format back then. It is what it is. We'll present the games as is. You can find highlights to the 1975 49ers game on This Week in Pro Football 1975 Week 3. So until next time, I'm Vinny Vincent. Stay tuned for some Sack to the Future tonight, and God bless America.